Good evening from the brewery. Nice to see you. It's been a couple of weeks. Took another little holiday. I do that, don't I? But I did. Took another little holiday. And I've got a lot of travel coming up over the next few weeks, so we're just trying to get ourselves organised again. It's like one step forward and two steps back sometimes. So the plan for the weekend is obviously to brew. In fact, I'll take back to the beginning. The plan for the weekend is I'm about to go around to meet with Jack to give him a little taster of this American Pale that we did and see what he thinks. And if he likes it, then that's one option for brewing this weekend. The other option is Murgy Straight. However, we've had one customer who's discovered they've got a little bit more stock than they thought, so they don't want any for the next few weeks. So I've got a few extra casks of Murgy that we weren't expecting to have, which means I don't necessarily have to brew Murgy on Saturday. So I'm leaning towards the new one, I think, and that allows us to use the kegs rather than the casks. Gives us a little bit more space, a little bit more breathing room. We've got plenty of stock at the moment. We've got 5 Murgys ready to go. We've got 5 Most and Dragons ready to go. There's another 8 Murgys conditioning at the moment. Both of these tanks are full. Murgy on the left, Most and Dragon on the right. The big tank's empty currently, so another 8 casks in each of those too. So we've plenty of stock just to keep us ticking over through October for sure. The empties situation is what you see here. We have, I think now we have more or less 50 9-gallon casks and 5 of these big 10-gallon jobs. So as you can see, we've got 3 in here plus 1 of the older 9-gallon cask, and Elliot and I have Elliot's in fact just unloaded the casks and kegs we collected last night from the pubs. So we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 9-gallon casks there, another 10-gallon cask and a 30-litre keg. So packaging, we're all right, I think. I'll need 16 for the 2 that are in the tanks there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One over there, 8. Oh no, we're going to struggle for 9s, aren't we? We might have to fill the 10s again. I can't believe we're up against this limit all the time. I've got 22 casks out in the trade at the moment. Obviously some of those will come back through next week and the week after, ready for whatever we brew next. But if it's the American Pale, it'll go in these. And they've never been touched yet since we took them, so it'd be nice to get them filled with product and out to customers. Stock situation, all good. Plenty of grain before the prices go nuts. We're hearing some scare stories about prices, and as far as hops are concerned, we've got pretty much a fridge full of everything we need. Got USO 5, SO4 in there, and I've also got another 2 kilos of each of the yeasts that we use coming on. Hopefully, if Get Her Brewed Trade are quick and DHL do what they say, they should be here at the house tomorrow, ready for the brew on Saturday. Although we've got enough in if they don't arrive, so no big danger. Friday night, when I'm normally here prepping, it is the Crewe Rail Ale Festival. Not the Real Ale Festival, mind you, the Rail Ale Festival. Do you get it? So we're going to go down there tomorrow and have a couple. I've got a cask on. Some of the other local breweries have. It's organised by South Cheshire CAMRA, who are a great bunch. We're on there. And earlier this week, we received an order from 4Ts up in Warrington, who are taking care of the logistics for us for the Sheffield Beer Festival and the Derby. No, we've done Derby, haven't we? Nottingham Beer Festivals later on in the year. So they've placed their order with us now. So we should be representing there with both of the beers, actually. So I'll share the dates with you and the details a little bit nearer the time. And finally, Monday, I am going to Germany for work, but it happens to be Oktoberfest. So we've got a bit of a tent thing booked with work. I probably won't film it because it's a day job thing. But I might take some photos and share them with you when I get back. The boys doing a grand job out there. Getting the crud off. You know the process by now. We blast the crud out, then we give them a hot caustic wash, rinse, sanitizer, and then fill them. Because the weather's gone a little bit cooler actually, we're getting close to the target crash temperature that I needed. I've not been anywhere near it all summer, 6 degrees, 7 degrees sometimes, but we're actually at 4.2 now, so happy with that. This, however, has only been fermenting for 3 days, and we're at 17.9. Fermentation looks like it's finished, but obviously it needs to sit for a little while longer. But 18 degrees is probably as cold as I'd really want it to go. So we're going to need to start thinking about the little heaters again soon, or circulating warm water or something through the coils. Right, let's get these other casks. Hold on. I don't know what these publicans do with my casks, but they come back grimy. I think, to be fair, it's where they've had them stood outside after they've emptied them. They stick them in the back of the pub garden or somewhere, and they tend to pick up weeds and bits and pieces. So that's the 8 we need for this brew. We'll rack into those Saturday. Cask washer is all set up and ready to go. Just need some water, heater switching on, bit of caustic. We'll get that filled. And I think, rather than coming in again tomorrow, Friday night, to get the casks ready, I will probably caustic and sanitize the casks while we're mashing, and then rack while we're boiling, or coming up to the boil. And we can probably get it all done in one day, I think. Or is that too much? We'll find out on Saturday. Oh, I might have some company again as well. A couple of people from the internet. Here we are, Crewe Heritage Centre. Elliot's driving, so we can't have a drink.
Maybe a half.
Exactly, yeah. It's not so warm. It looks like it might rain, but that's all right. I've got money in my pocket and I'm starving. I think there's some food trucks here, so we're going to grab a bite to eat, and then I'm going to tuck in on a few beers and say hello to a few people. And there's a train. So here we are, £10 admission gets you 5 quid worth of beer vouchers. I've got a commemorative glass and a choice of all of that ale, and it's magnificent. We've just had a fantastic jerk chicken and halloumi wrap from the catering van down there. I'll wander down in a minute and tell you what it's called, because it was awesome. I was starving and it was just the job. So I've had a couple of those, had a couple of pints, tried our beer. It's a bit flat, I'm afraid. It's a little bit flat. I really need to think, when they're serving these on gravity, as you can see, they're just straight out of the tap. I really need to think about maybe priming the casks. I don't have to when they're serving them on the hand pulls. There's enough condition and residual carbonation in the beer, but in this format it really needs a little bit more fizz. However, we're getting some great reviews so far on Untapped. I've had some high 3s, and I think I've had a couple of 4s by the look of it. So it's not going too badly. I think most people realise it's difficult with... It's not really a fully set up bar, is it? To be honest, just straight out of the cask. But I'll have a little wander, see what other beers we can see. Correction. I've just noticed this is not a commemorative glass at all. These are old glasses from previous events. So I don't know whether I should take it home or not. 2014, this one. You thought I bought a drone, didn't you? It's not a drone, it's a model. So we've been working our way along. I must have had 6 halves, I think, so far. A highlight for me so far, I would say Liverpool Brewing Tropical. Wonderful, absolutely awesome. And just very slightly behind it, but not far, I would say is Tom's Tap and Brewhouse, Mason's Mighty Mash. That Four Priests ain't bad either. However, it's a bit flat, unless you pour it from a height of about 3 meters, in which case it's okay. So we're going to drink up, get back, get a bite to eat, because I'm hungry again now. The chicken, the jerk chicken wrap has now worn off. We're going to get a Chinese, I think, and then we're back again in the morning to the brewery. We'll get mashed in, and I'll see you there. So we have moved on. We are now at Tom's Tap and Brewhouse with the lovely Mr. Sean Ayling, and this is his tap list today. Considering we're not exactly in the city centre, he has a remarkable range of beers available. 30-something taps of wonderfulness. I'm currently enjoying Return of the Chad Eye, brewed by Sean and Chad, his assistant brewer, and it's a lovely, lovely beverage, and I would recommend it. I'm going to finish up here. Elliot, who has not had a drink, is going to drive me home via the Chinese restaurant where we will be getting some chickeny goodness. And Sean's out there just chatting to some other customers. We've had a good chat today, actually. He's helped me out a lot. Again, just talking about technique and things that are going to help us just to optimise a little bit. So thank you, Sean, you're a superstar. I appreciate it. We will see you at the brewery in the morning. Good morning again. It's Saturday, brew day. It's 6:30 a.m. I've been here for about 20 minutes. We're just waiting for the cask washer to get up to temperature. But I've had a surprise through the post. Let me show you. Still in the bag at the moment, but I've been sent some beers by a lovely man called Pat. I think it's a man. Yeah, it's got to be a man. Amarillo Pale. They're all Amarillo Pale. I must admit, I didn't look at it. Oh, Helles Bock. And a Kolsch. And a sticker. So we're going to get that on the fridge right now. Pride of place. Thank you, Pat. You're a superstar. I will try and reciprocate. I'll try and reciprocate as soon as we get some bottling underway. So today I have the recipes in here ready, but we are producing a American Pale, code name Medius Vicus. Look it up. I don't think that's what we'll call it in the end. I need a name that trips off the tongue a little bit better than Medius Vicus. Pint of Medius Vicus, please, landlord. Doesn't work, does it? Either way, that's his code name right now, and it will be a 5.8-ish American Pale. I did the test brew at home, homebrew style, a few weeks ago. I've had a taste. 3 or 4 other people have had a go. They think it's great, so I'm just going to scale that up. In fact, I have scaled it up, so that's what we're going to do. So, relatively simple recipe. 75 kilos of extra pale, 5 kilos of crystal, some water additions, some water, and then the hops. I'll do a full recipe further down the line, but the hops are Citra and Cascade at 3 points during the boil. There's no dry hop, doesn't need it, or didn't need it. And it's going into 30 litre keg. So I'll finally get some use for these kegs. Jack at the King's Lock wants a regular tap for us. So as long as it's decent, that's the plan. We should be on there permanently with whatever we decide to call it. Today I have some company. We've got 3 people possibly popping in. And every time I do this, they don't show up. So I have to go back and edit the video. We have got Josh from off of the Facebooks. He's due here. I don't know. I left it flexible with him, but he's due here at probably 7-ish, something like that. And he's going to help me with the brew day. He's a local home brewer, just like me. And we've been chatting about a few things online, and I said, come down, make a beer with me. So that's what we're doing. Secondly, I should have the pleasure of the company of Mr. Michael Hall, off of the BrewTube official group, and variously seen on the internet and down the pub. He'll be joining me on his way to his jolly days down south. So he's travelling down from up Sunderland way somewhere, heading down to the south coast. So he's going to pop in and say hello. I think he might have some beer for me as well. We'll see when he gets here. And also Michael, who is another YouTube subscriber, travelling up to visit his family from London, from that London. And he asked me where he could search out a pint of Murgy, because he's been watching and would like to try it. So I have directed him to a couple of the local pubs, and also said to him, pop your head in, come have a cup of coffee. So with all these interruptions, this is likely to be a long old brew day. So I'll keep you posted as we go along. And as usual, if I don't get a chance to film everything, I'm sorry. And we'll catch up with you later on. And one more thing I forgot. Billy of Michigrain, I can say it this time, Michigrain Distillery and Gam Dude Brewing. This is coming to you. I keep meaning to post it. I've got your envelope there with your address in the corner. So I am going to post that later today, promise. Because I know you're nearing completion of the Murgy Straight. So it'll be on its way to you. Pump clip. Right, plus 2 hours, we're mashed in. I'll introduce you to Josh in a minute, who's busy helping me with the mash. You know, I've been delivering casks in this car. It's not great, so we needed something else, so bit of an upgrade. What do you think? How many can I get in that? 4 or 5, I think. Have to have the top down, maybe. Alrighty, we are 9:50 a.m. Mash has been going on for 45 minutes probably. It is very, very full. We had to stop the water about, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 litres early because we were about to overflow, so there was just a little concern that the temperature wouldn't be right. I did actually give it an extra couple of degrees. I'd set it to 70.5 to start with because, as you know, I lose 5 degrees when we transfer into the mash tun, but I was just a little bit worried today. When we arrived, it was 3 degrees outside, and I didn't have enough water to preheat, so we just gave it an hour to get up to 72. Then mashed in, and we were bang on, actually, 65 degrees, just a touch under 64.9 in places. So mash will be done in about, hopefully, 10 minutes. If we're not at gravity, then I can let it run for another 30. We're set up with the pump. We are about to rack. Casks are caustic, rinsed, sanitised, and I'm going to prime those 4. As I mentioned, I think earlier in the video, we've got a couple of beer festivals coming up, and it was a disappointment last night. Or, you know, the ratings on Untapped are one thing that just makes it slightly better than it would have been, because we are still scoring very well, but it was too flat for me. So I'm definitely going to do 4, which are going to the festivals who are gravity serving rather than on hand pulls. I just need to find a way to label them so I know which ones are which. We'll do that in a minute. Josh from the internet has joined us. He's been a great help so far. It was his fault we nearly overflowed because he wasn't paying attention. I'll always find someone to blame, won't I? And because of his very keen eye for detail, he made exactly sure that we were bang on with the lot numbers as well, which is something that I'm not too smart about. And yeah, we'll get these casks filled, get them out of the way, and then we can start the transfer. Josh was supposed to remind me to film the filling of the last cask, and unfortunately we filled it. So we are now full. We've primed 4, and helpfully, because I don't have the racking labels printed yet, helpfully we have applied some stickers to them which say, I know it's upside down, sorry, which say primed. So these have got 133 grams of dextrose. Asking around yesterday, Sean gave me some advice, which is 120 grams of regular granulated sugar, caster sugar. Obviously dextrose, glucose, you need a little bit more. So 131, according to the Brewfather calculator, should give us about 1.6 volumes, which isn't fizzy, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to have a bit of life, as opposed to that flat dead beer that is currently being served to the public of Crewe. So we're done. Just going to give these a quick rinse, get them in the not so cold room. It's actually colder in here than it is in the cold room today, so I don't know whether to leave the doors off for a bit, but anyway, they've got a condition, so we'll get them into a spot where they can do that. Mash is taking a bit longer than we'd anticipated. The weird water volume, liquid volume that I've got in there, and the quite thick mash that resulted has thrown the numbers a little bit. So I need to get my calculator out and just see if we're there or not. But to be honest, it's coming up to 2 hours, I think. Yeah, 2 hours. So whatever it is, it is. So we'll get that transferred and sparged, and then we'll have a better idea of what the final gravity might look like. Moo cow food. Johnny, you better be ready. We got 4 boxes coming for you, I think, today. Nice one, Al. Yeah, 4 big tubs, so should keep the cows happy. As usual, I am not having to dig out today. I have some willing volunteers, courtesy of Josh and Elliot. The boil is raging away. I'll show you the boil first, but I don't know if you can see that through the steam, but that's a decent boil. We've only got one element on and one 0.5 Martin units. It's swirling around like a good one. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's going to save us a little bit of electricity. We've causticed and rinsed. Just need to whiz a bit of peracetic acid through it, give it a bit of an external wipe down, and then we'll be ready to fill. In what time is it, El? What time is it? Timer?
14, 2 minutes.
2 minutes on the timer. I've not even weighed the hops. Nearly at the bottom. Is that 4 or 5? 4. Flipping heck. Looking good. Anyway, I had to run because I hadn't weighed the hops out so very quickly. Fortunately, it's only 2. So Cascade and Citra in the bag. One's gone in. I've also now weighed the 20. That was the 30-minute edition. I've also weighed the 20-minute edition and the Flame Out edition down there. And we're boiling away nicely, as you can tell from the steam. So let's turn the water up a little bit. Get the steam down. And looking good, yeah. And we're still on one element and half a Martin. Fantastic. Think of the money we're saving. Thank you, well done guys. They've been monitoring the boil. I've had a visitor. Michael is here from that London, along with his daughter. What's your name, mate? Ava. Ava, look, you're on the big telly. Woo!
It's a pleasure to meet you and
no,
what you're doing.
Absolutely, no probs. Thanks for coming in.
No problem at all.
Cheers, mate.
Take care.
Right, so the clean-up begins. We are in the tank. It's yeasted. It's very full, as you can see. Very full. I've just scooped out the hot bags and the slops. Just chucked a bit of water in for a minute. We need to clean and pressure wash the mash tun. And guess who forgot to put the Protoflock in again? Every time I do a new beer, I forget to put the Protoflock in. Josh should have reminded me, but didn't. And then Elliot should have reminded me, but was too busy on Facebook or something. Oh, sorry, or whatever. Is it TikTok or whatever? No. Anyway, no, it was all my fault, to be fair. It's in the plan. It's here. Protoflock 3. Didn't do it. Too busy chatting. Anyway, let's get the clean up finished. Right guys, all the hard work is complete. We are clean, sanitised, racked and cleaned up. And now all the hard work is complete. Michael Hall off the internet.
Off the interwebs.
Has arrived.
Yeah.
Now normally I'd be like, you lazy git, you should have been here at lunchtime to help. However, he has brought me a Russian Imperial Stout at 9.5%. A beautiful looking cherry sour. Look at the colour of this. I don't know if you're getting that. Beautiful cherry sour. Look at that. That looks amazing. And finally, last but not least, a rye Pilsner. He didn't bring me stickers, so he doesn't win today's prize.
I haven't got any stickers.
However,
Not that clever.
you should look him up on the BrewChew official Facebook page and occasionally on his YouTube channel, Phoenix Mount Brewery. Get in touch with him. Tell him to make more videos.
Yeah, I know the last one was put on in January because I'm sorry, pardon my French, but I do have several in the pipeline. I just haven't got around to editing them yet.
Well, we're looking forward to them,
Sorry,
sir. Get them done. Come on.
I will.
Come on.